All right, so you're thinking about a career in optical instruments, huh? Want to be the one calling the shots, making sure those lenses and prisms are absolutely perfect.
Well, then you're aiming for the big leagues Optical Instrument Production Supervisor.
It's a job that takes a special kind of focus, right?
Absolutely. Think of it like conducting an orchestra, but instead of music, you're harmonizing precision and efficiency.
And today, we're handing you the conductor's baton. We're diving deep into how to ace that interview using RoleCatcher's career guide and their incredible AI tools.
Let's kick things off with that classic interview opener. Tell me about your experience in optical instrument production.
Oh, yeah, the dreaded tell me about yourself disguised as a job-specific question.
Exactly. But here's the thing. This is your chance to shine. Don't just list off your resume like a grocery list. They want to hear your passion.
Right, like, I spent 5 years polishing lenses. No, tell them about the time you streamlined a production process that saved the company thousands.
Yes. Quantify your wins. Did you mentor a newbie into becoming a lens crafting rock star? Tell them that story.
And speaking of stories, that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in. Imagine having a personal coach analyzing your answers, comparing them to those from successful supervisors.
It's like having a secret weapon, making sure you highlight the skills that really matter to hiring managers.
Okay, so you've nailed the experience part. Now they hit you with, how do you ensure the quality of optical instruments during production?
Music to my ears. This is where you show them you're not just building instruments, you're building a legacy of precision.
Right, like you've got that ISO certification memorized and framed on your wall.
Well, knowing those standards is key, of course, but go beyond the textbook.
Okay, so give them a glimpse into your quality-obsessed brain. Do you have a go-to inspection technique, a mantra you live by?
Exactly. Make them see that this isn't just a job for you, it's an obsession. Now, let's not forget the human element. They might ask, how do you manage a team of optical instrument production workers?
Ah, the people side of the equation. Because even the most precise machines need a skilled hand to guide them.
Couldn't agree more. Remember, you're dealing with a diverse group: engineers, technicians, production workers, each with their own quirks.
Right, it's like herding cats sometimes, I imagine.
Hopefully not cats. But you've got to demonstrate you can motivate, delegate, and handle those inevitable personality clashes.
And maybe share a quick story about a time you successfully navigated a tricky team dynamic.
Absolutely. Show them you can handle the human side of this high-precision world. And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI can give you feedback on how those stories might be perceived by a potential employer. It's like having a crystal ball, giving you a sneak peek into the interview room. It's like having a secret weapon giving you a sneak peek into the interview room. All right, so let's talk about when things get tough, because you know they're going to ask you something like, can you tell me about a time you had to make a difficult decision related to optical instrument production?
Oh yeah, they love that one, don't they?
They do. It's a classic. And you know what? It's actually a great opportunity to really showcase your problem-solving skills.
Okay, so it's not just about dredging up a stressful memory from the vault.
No. It's about showing them you can handle pressure. You can think on your feet. Did you ever have a situation where maybe a quality control issue popped up and you had to make a tough call?
Ooh, like scrap a whole batch of lenses. Ouch, that's gonna hurt.
Exactly. Or maybe it was about resource allocation, right? Having to prioritize one project over another, knowing it might ruffle some feathers.
Office politics, always fun. So how do you answer that kind of question without sounding like you're just trying to save your own skin?
Honesty and transparency are key here. Walk them through your decision-making process. What factors did you consider? Who did you consult with? And most importantly, what did you learn from the experience?
Because let's face it, nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes even the best laid plans go awry.
That's right. And owning up to your mistakes, showing that you've learned from them, that's gold. It demonstrates growth and adaptability. Now, speaking of adaptability, let's talk about the tech side of things, because this industry is always evolving.
Oh yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
New techniques, new materials, it's hard to keep up sometimes.
Exactly. And they know that, which is why they might ask something like, how do you stay up to date with advancements in optical instrument production technology?
Right, because nobody wants a supervisor who's stuck in the stone age of optics.
Exactly. So this is your chance to shine a light on your passion for innovation. Do you subscribe to any industry journals, attend conferences? Maybe you're part of an online forum where optical engineers gather to discuss the latest breakthroughs.
It's like showing them you're not just keeping up, you're on the cutting edge.
Precisely. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about safety, because as you know, working with delicate and sometimes hazardous materials, well, safety is paramount.
Absolutely, it's going to be top of mind, always.
Exactly. And that's why they might ask, what steps do you take to ensure the safety of workers in the optical instrument production facility?
Okay, so beyond just rattling off the OSHA regulations, what do you say?
Show them you're proactive. Did you ever implement a new safety protocol? Maybe you noticed a potential hazard and took steps to address it before anything happened?
Oh, I like that, being a safety champion.
Yeah,
It shows you care about your team.
exactly. And that's a valuable quality in any leader, especially in a field where precision and attention to detail are so crucial.
Now, speaking of teams, I'm guessing training new employees is a big part of this role, right?
It's essential. You're responsible for shaping the next generation of optical instrument craftspeople.
So when they ask, can you describe your approach to training new employees in optical instrument production, what's the best way to respond?
Focus on structure and support. Do you have a training program you've developed? Do you believe in hands-on learning? Mentoring? Share your philosophy.
It's about showing them you've got a plan. You're not just going to throw someone into the deep end without a life preserver.
Exactly. And remember, everyone learns differently. So highlighting your ability to adapt your training methods to different learning styles, that's key.
Okay, so we've talked about safety training now. Let's get real for a second. Conflict happens even in the most well-run teams.
It's inevitable, right? People have different opinions, work styles, communication preferences.
So how do you handle it when those differences escalate into something a bit more well-heated? I'm sure they'll ask something like, can you tell me about a time you had to resolve a conflict within your team?
Ah, the conflict resolution question.
Hmm.
It's a tough one, but it's really just another opportunity to highlight your leadership skills. So think back to a time when you successfully navigated a conflict. What was your approach? Did you mediate a discussion, establish ground rules?
It's like being a referee sometimes, making sure everyone's playing fair and by the rules.
Exactly. And again, focus on the outcome. How did your actions help to resolve the conflict and improve the team dynamic?
Okay, so we've talked about keeping the team safe and harmonious, but what about keeping the bottom line happy? I mean, we can't forget about the financial side of things.
Absolutely. Cost effectiveness is always a factor. And they might ask something like, how do you ensure that the optical instruments produced are cost effective without sacrificing quality?
Ah, the eternal struggle, quality versus cost.
Mm.
It's a delicate dance.
It is. And you want to show them you're capable of leading that dance gracefully. So think about a time when you successfully balanced those two priorities. Did you find a way to streamline a process, negotiate a better rate with a supplier?
It's all about being resourceful, right?
Exactly. And again, quantify whenever possible. Did your actions result in a certain percentage cost reduction? Did you save the company a specific amount of money? Those details pack a punch.
They show you're not all talk, you're about results. And speaking of results, let's talk about your potential career trajectory in this field, because landing the optical instrument production supervisor role, well, that's just the beginning.
It's a stepping stone to even bigger and better things. So stay tuned as we explore the exciting career path that awaits you in the fascinating world of optical instrument production.
Okay, so we've talked about landing that supervisor role, but what comes next? What does the career ladder look like in the world of optical instrument production?
Well, RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually maps out a pretty clear progression path for aspiring optical enthusiasts.
Oh, cool. So it's not just about one job, it's about a whole career. Tell me more.
Exactly. Think of it like climbing a mountain, each stage offering breathtaking views and new challenges. You might start as an optical instrument production technician, getting your hands dirty, learning the ropes from the ground up.
Okay, so like an apprenticeship.
In a way, yes. You're working with those high-precision machines, mastering the technical skills, becoming fluent in the language of optics.
Sounds like a solid foundation. What comes after that?
Well, once you've proven your mettle, you might move up to an optical instrument production operator role.
Okay, so more responsibility.
Absolutely. You're not just assisting anymore, you're leading the production process, making sure those instruments are crafted to perfection.
I imagine that takes a blend of technical know-how and leadership skills.
You hit the nail on the head. You're solving problems on the fly, managing your time effectively, and ensuring those quality standards never waver.
It's like being the conductor of an orchestra, making sure all the parts come together harmoniously.
Precisely. And all that experience, that dedication, it prepares you for the ultimate goal, that optical instrument production supervisor position.
Ah, so it all connects back.
It does. Understanding this career trajectory helps you see the bigger picture. Every interview, every skill you master, it's all part of a larger journey.
So to wrap things up for our listeners, what's the key takeaway here? What should they be thinking about as they embark on this career path?
I think the most important thing is to approach this field with a spirit of continuous learning. The technology is always evolving, the demand for skilled professionals is high, and the opportunities are endless.
It's a field that rewards passion, precision, and a genuine love for the science of optics.
Absolutely.
And with that, we wrap up our deep dive into the world of optical instrument production. See you next time, same channel, for another exciting career exploration.